If you are a chosen one, you're usually going to give off a very mysterious energy. It is very mysterious. You have got this energy that people don't understand. It is very difficult to know what you're all about. It's very difficult to know how much do you know. It is very difficult to know these little details about you. This is something on the inside that people cannot pretty much figure out. People will know the way you dress. People will know even sometimes what you do for a living. They will know the kind of job you do. They will know the kind of car you drive. They will know the kind of women you date. They will know your husband and wife. But there is something else that is going to be very confusing for so many people that you will encounter on your journey. So this is something you're going to have to prepare for. It is what is going to happen. It is unavoidable because that's simply who you are. So your spiritual DNA is on a completely different level. What does that mean for a chosen person? What this really means for a chosen person is that you are going to run into people and you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. The only thing you will simply do is be your authentic self. Say, for example, it's a job. You will go there. You're going to do the work. You will, take your assignments. Even sometimes you may do extra. You will put in the work. And on this 3D, there is people that will appreciate what you do. Okay, so because there is some things they can see, physical things they will see, and they can benefit from when it comes to you. But then on a spiritual level, it feels like they want to understand more. So they want more. They want to understand more. So this is on a very 5D level. They want to understand more about you. And sometimes it is taking them a lot of work to get anything from you. Okay? I don't know if that thing is making sense. They understand you on the 3D because there's things you can offer. Okay, you will be around and you will, help them do a thing or two and stuff like that. But there's then also this spiritual mystery behind the scenes that is playing in the background. So you are now going to see people that you work with. Some of them you don't even know their name. You don't even know anything about their families. You don't know what they did yesterday. You have nothing you know about their personal lives. Those people are going to start hating on you. And you will be like, now, this person, you haven't talked to them. You haven't said anything. The only thing you did was show up and just be your authentic self. Now, a lot of times you're dealing with people who are very much intimidated by mystery. If you're a very mysterious person, you will always meet people who are intimidated by mystery. You can even sometimes run into a person. If you're a very nice looking woman, or whatever, you run into a guy, and the guy thinks like, oh, I like you, and this stuff like that. We could date and things like that. They will like you even sometimes on the 3D level. But you see, as the time goes on, they're starting to discover a lot of things about you, the way you move, your mindset, the things you do, because a chosen person is a person that is emotionally intelligent, especially the one who is awakened. Those people are very mysterious. Now, the people is trying to understand you on a deep level, but they can't. And it doesn't even matter what you try to do. You can flip the whole script upside down for them. You can open all the blinders for them. They will not be able to figure you out. They will not be able to see who you really are on a spiritual level. It's very difficult because there's so many folks that are not on that consciousness. So they cannot tap into your consciousness because they have got this kind of a blockage. They are not ready. They are not even there yet energetically to be able to understand you on a spiritual level. So it's why sometimes you end up in relationships where you start having so many conflicts. There is things you're trying to explain to people. There is a direction you're trying to point towards them. And instead of appreciating you, that you're trying to show them something very powerful in their lives, they are now turning around and hating on you for some mysterious reason. They're like, okay, why is this person thinking that they know everything? Why are they the ones thinking that they know this or they know that? They're starting to get to see your gifts manifest. even in their own personal lives, because they are around a beautiful person like you. So some of the gifts are starting to manifest, even sometimes for their own benefit. But because they cannot pretty much figure out what is that thing inside of you, what is that mystery, what is that thing they cannot pretty much put a finger on, what is that thing behind that they cannot see. So it is why everywhere that you go, you will usually run into people who they resent you. So sometimes you will see people who you met them and maybe you said hello, or sometimes you said a word or two, and then in the next few minutes they started frowning. You saw their faces are frowning. You saw them, they are trying to walk the other way. You saw them, they are trying to say things. Sometimes they are trying to even shout at you, scream at you, and the things like that. So you're always in that energy where you are walking into people's lives and you are kind of shifting the entire energy in their own lives. And it is making them feel very uncomfortable, because you see, a chosen person is a person who moves with authenticity. So let's say, for example, you run into a group of people. This could be fake people, okay? We all know how fake people do things, the way they lie and try to manipulate and gaslight people around. So you might move into a setting where you run into these people, and you come in and you run into this conversation, and there is stuff that they're talking about. Now, because you are a chosen one, you are not going to play along with that thing. Yes, sometimes you might have done things whereby you just played along with them. But at the end of the day, you're like, they are talking about things that are complete opposite of what they should say. So sometimes you are moving in with your authentic conversations, and you are just simply saying things exactly the way they are. Now, people are not used to that kind of language, whereby there is stuff that they're trying to hide. But when you show up, you just say it the way it is, or you just do it exactly the way it should be done. People are not used to that kind of energy. It is what causes a lot of people to get that resentment. It is something in the inside. They're like, you show up and they're like starting to get uncomfortable. Sometimes they might have shown up and there was something they wanted to say. When you showed up in those people's lives, all of a sudden they stopped talking, or maybe sometimes they started bubbling around with words. They ran short of words. They didn't know what to say, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling. So for the most of you guys chosen ones who are, let's say, in workplaces, you will also meet those scenarios where you have these people that you work with. You didn't do anything wrong. You were really doing your best, and sometimes other people in the higher positions notice. The workers, the bosses, the supervisors may notice that you're really a good person. You do your job very well. But now you have these people in the workplace and they are thinking whereby it's kind of like you're drawing this attention. The attention that you didn't even ask for, because most of the times I've told you, when you're a very authentic, genuine being, you may attract attention wherever you go. And sometimes it's not something that you have wanted, you didn't ask for it. But it's just because the nature of your energy is showing up and attracting this kind of attention. Now, there will be people on the other side who is going to start seeing you as a threat. So they will be thinking like, what is different about you? Now they will start comparing themselves to you. What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing in your life? The things you say, the way you move, they are now starting to compare themselves to you. And they're believing that you are on a different level than they are. And that is something that subconsciously it triggers some kind of, it's like an envious energy or jealous energy, whereby people now start switching up on you and you didn't even know what just happened. So you might have a friend, for example. You met this person yesterday, maybe you was out on a date or things like that, or you guys went out on a party and things like that. The next day, 2 or 3 days, you have met that particular individual and they are in a completely different energy. They are throwing all this shit at you. There's this subliminal hatred you see. You can feel this subliminal hatred and jealousy behind the scenes. They may downplay the way you dress. They may sometimes say, oh, why did you come in with this shirt? Why did you come in dressed like that? What is wrong with you? So there may be things now they will start to pick out because they are looking for everything they can use against you so that they can make you feel very low about yourself. So now they are starting to bring out all these subliminal hatred from the inside of them, that is inside of them, and they're starting to project these things onto you. Normally, it's a matter of projection. So they are projecting all those little things about you to make you feel a certain way because that is exactly how they feel about themselves. So they don't want to be the only ones in that bubble. They want to drag you along to join their bubble so that you can start feeling the same way that they do. So these things are not personal chosen ones. If you're a person who normally runs into people and they just started hating you, They started rumor mongering around, talking about you behind your back and things like that. And sometimes these are people that you had a lot of respect for. These were sometimes the people that you knew. Sometimes you might have even family members. All of a sudden, they have turned against you. You don't know what you did to them. You don't know if you said something wrong or if you did anything wrong. It has nothing to do with you. It is simply the energy. So your energy kind of shifts around in the places that you go. And it also makes these kind of people resent you. It makes these kind of people hate you for no apparent reason. So those are the things you need to prepare for. If you're a chosen person, you will always have these incidents where you're going to switch up energies wherever you go. So a lot of chosen ones who are aware and awakened to who they really are, they are starting to become very mindful of their daily engagements with people. So the people they meet, they kind of like want to lay a step back, just want to observe everything at a distance, and they want to know if those are the right people that are supposed to be in their lives. Because usually it has ended up in a very bad situation where you run into people, you open those doors, you discuss stuff with them, and before you knew it, there was somewhere talking about you behind your back. There was somewhere throwing hatred, jealousy, and envious energy, that kind of stuff. So it is going to be a normal case scenario, chosen ones, but it has completely got nothing to do with you. You need to understand you are on a completely different vibration. You are on a completely different frequency. And that is not the frequency that is very usual and very common around the people that you meet. That is why the people that you meet normally are a mismatch with your energy. So it might even sometimes never work out for simple things such as friendships, for simple things such as relationships, even some of the jobs you are going to get out of hatred, where you are going to be sent out of your jobs because there is people who are going to talk about you in a very bad way to the bosses and stuff like that. And for some mysterious reason, everybody's going to start hating on you. You don't even know what you did. You haven't raised the finger. You haven't talked about anybody, but people are now starting to backbite you behind your back. And now all of a sudden, you have lost your job. So it is not going to be easy for a chosen one. But you see, awareness is key. When you're aware of who you are, you see, self-awareness is a very important thing in the chosen one's life. When you are aware of who you are, you always know how to protect yourself. You know who needs to come in, who needs to leave. You know when boundaries need to be put in place. You know your daily engagements. You are consciously moving and understanding what it is you need to do wherever you are and the people that you meet. What are these are you going to say? So people will, like I've said, hate you for no apparent reason. If that happens, you're most likely a chosen person. That's the reason as to why you're getting these kind of things these kind of things happening every time in your journey. So if you have experienced those things I am talking about, let us know in the comment section below. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Denzomos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.